Day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, but you can join us on Zoom. The number's on the screen. I am your host for the evening. My name's Advocate of Words. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Advocate of Words, and that's with a Z at the end, poetic license. We have 25 people guaranteed on our open mic list. They will have 4 minutes to share their poem or poems. Tonight's theme is Mirage. I'm really excited to hear what everyone wrote on Mirage. So, I am currently in daddy mode, and you can't see that because I didn't put my video on. Let's start my video. Where am I? There I am. I am currently in daddy mode. My son has been doing fantastic with baseball. Last game, he had a double and a triple, and he closed the game out. I am super excited about that. We're going to win the championship this year. But we're here for the good stuff, and that is poetry. I see Gigi. Haven't seen Gigi in a while. Hey, what's up? What's up? Okay, so with that being said, let us get to the list. If you are with us here on Zoom, which you should be if you signed up for the open mic, make sure that you open up the chat. In the chat, I am going to put who is on the guaranteed list for tonight. And I also like to put up who's the next 5 when the poet is performing. Also, for the poets performing, make sure that you check out the chat after you perform. A lot of people say a lot of nice things and they can't interrupt you while you're performing. And after each poet performs, we like to unmute everyone so everyone can clap and cheer and all that good stuff. So, with that being said, we are starting off the night with a heavy hitter, a mainstay at the Monday Night Online open mic, and that is Rich Daddy to Be Glennon. Sir, how are you this evening?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, we're counting down the days until you're a daddy, but I also know we're counting down the days until we're not going to see you for a while, man.
I know.
You're
I
gonna
know.
be
9
doing
more days.
you're gonna be doing the daddy stuff. Wait, 9 more days? I thought it was the 24th. We got moved up to the 21st.
Yeah. It got moved up to the 21st. So
Okay,
the 21st
gotcha.
at 8 a.m. Maybe
Okay,
I'll just sign up and just have like the camera on in the background, and you could just see me like tired and haggard and cleaning diapers or something.
that's great. That's so
Poetry in
poetic.
motion.
I
Yeah.
would, I would love to see it. All right, Rich, get into it, brother.
All right, we'll do. I don't have anything on mirages, unfortunately, but both these poems are in the same theme. So this first one's called Omelets. My wife makes omelets. She cooks mine first, then hers. I try to beat the pan, clear my plate before her eggs are ready to be folded. I'm an egg timer, not a dishwasher. Okay, and this next one is called Grandma's Cooking. All right, Grandma's Cooking. Her dishes are basic. Anyone can do it. Grandma makes nothing, nothing worth mentioning. What did I do? She asks. What? It's just chicken. You stick it in the oven. That's it. She is speaking of the smokestack plate billowing Simpsons clouds until unveiling a landscape of manicured ingredients. You dive into the ancient world, tempered by grease fires, eroded by forearm burns, cracked by bits of prehistoric eggshells, chiseled by the sharp rice of fish bones. Bland mishaps of yore dictate the current seasons. Salty veins blotch every swath of sky. You tell her this place is amazing over and over again, but she doesn't believe it. All she sees is a lumpy world of shadows, a ball of burnt crust. She sees nothing amazing. She sees nothing, nothing worth mentioning. Okay, thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Rich.
Rich.
Grandma,
Rich.
gotta love the grandma.
Rich Daddy to be Glennon. Throwing grandma under the bus. Let me unmute him. There you go. There you go. You're gonna need grandma on your side, man. When you and the wife want to like skip town, you need someone to watch the baby. All right.
Oh, I didn't say anything bad about grandma.
Where can the people follow you online, at least for the next 9 days?
Instagram and Tumblr. Rich Glenn on Instagram and Tumblr. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. So we're gonna see you next Monday, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be there. The
That's
ones
7
after that,
days.
it's questionable. We'll see.
All right, cool.
Sporadically.
Rich Daddy to be Glennon. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. All right, next coming up, we've got Nick Paleologos. He's wearing the wig again.
I'm wearing the wig again. It's Halloween time, man. It's Halloween time, man. It's spooky season. You gotta kind of get in the mode, you know?
I thought you were just trying to hide yourself because you lost to the Cowboys. That's all. Oh.
No. See, I'm wearing the red because I'm red with rage for the fact that people are cheering for Dak Prescott's injury. That is not cool.
Yeah.
That was not cool. No.
That was rough. That was rough.
That was very rough indeed. And not cool to cheer for someone else's injury. That is not cool. I don't like that, and I'll save that rage for later on. Before I begin, I must ask you, have you ever heard of a question coup, Advocate?
Say it again?
A question coup. You know what a question coup is?
No, like what? Like a haiku that's made of questions?
No. So instead of it being a 5-7-5 where it's a regular haiku, it's a 4-5-6, and it always ends in a question.
All right, cool. You know, I've done a lot of research on haikus, and I've never heard anything like this. So go ahead. I'm excited to hear it. Go ahead.
Okay. So this first one is called Visions of the U.S. Utopia. Penitentiary. Which one was the mirage? That's the first one. And the second one is I did this one on Thursday, and this one kind of relates to last week's theme, but also can relate to this one too as well. This one's called Controllers, Consoles, and Community. So for $60, you can get an Xbox or PlayStation subscription. Play your games and feed into the addiction. Forza, Spider-Man, Halo, God of War. Earn some badges and achievements galore. Experience the graphics in stunning 4K. Embrace the story. You have to play this online? When did this become mandatory? Take it online. Sure, why not? Put the headset on. If you guess there is no one there, you are wrong. There are more than the decent individuals. Check these residuals. If you guess check these residuals. If you got your creepy incels that are beyond any rational thought, the 10-year-old trolls whose thoughts aren't worth squat, the streamers who make money, and some pedophiles who need to get the fuck out because that shit is not funny. The ones that harness hundreds of hours of gameplay and make quick work of you as they see you as child's play. The rest of the community is people just want to get the edge off after a long day. Some say the community is more inclusive. There is still that ugly side that is abusive that use racism and homophobic slurs as tools. Fuck them down to their tiniest molecules. Let me take you back to a Call of Duty game and hear humor that was most lowbrow. Over time, it has become so toxic now. And like NewTubes, hear those brats and incels dropping disgusting dialect. You won't ever hear from me again as I disconnect. The best part is they don't care if I have a problem with that. They feed on that satisfaction, knowing they are having fun as they commit infraction after infraction. Most don't have a face to the online profile, and adds to the behavior that's juvenile. Muting, reporting, and banning them doesn't ban them from chirping up more of that racist phlegm. So again, fuck them and their racist phlegm. I'd rather be alone play Animal Crossing because I would rather listen to my villagers being wholesome than some spoiled brat on Fortnite spewing slurs and cussing. Then there's those 3 terrible letters that make gamers grimace. DLC. And some will cost you at least 2 to 3 months Netflix to play a game fully. If I'm paying $60 for a game, give me the whole damn game, not DLC and microtransactions that were methodically planned. That is my fucking demand. Instead of paying, I'll just download Among Us. And the players being 2K Games, Activision, Bungie, Blizzard, EA, Epic Games, Guzma, Rockstar, Studio MDHR, and Ubisoft. And 8 of them are acting sus. So you see, that is not my definition of having fun. It costs a fortune to play video games today, and the more thoughts I put into it, the more of a headache it's become. It's not like I could hit a brick and coins come out, or defeat the Elite Four and capture money after each grueling bout. Those are fantasies for stopping the disease. The only way to stop it is giving money to it. So call up Sub-Zero and put it on freeze. I still play my old games sometimes, yet write more than I play. Now gaming to me has become more passé. I've hung up my controller. The screen says continue. Timer counts down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Game over.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for
Nice.
Nick.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much.
Nick Paleologos getting real close and intimate with us. Nick, where can the people find you online, sir?
They can find me on Instagram at The Real Nick P. I have a Cash App, $ Paleologos. I'll drop that in the chat. It's good to see everyone again. I wasn't here last Monday because I was coming back from PA. I had to kind of like, wanted to kind of come back and relax a little bit. When I saw my name on the list, I was like, wait a minute, whoa, I'm not ready yet. I needed to kind of like, I was like, wait a minute, I wanted non-artists. Like, what is going on here? But it's all good. It's all good. I got a chance to listen in last Monday and got to perform today. And I'm ready to watch more great poets,
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Nick Paleologos, he's going to put his information in the chat. Next, coming up, we got Andy Markert. Oh, there is Andy. Let me unmute him.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's going on, Andy? How are you?
Oh, not much. Doing okay. Doing okay.
Awesome. Ready to do your thing?
Yeah, let's do some poems. That'll be fun. So I just got one this week, and it is called A Dreamer's Guide to Mirages. The Oxford English Dictionary defines a mirage as an optical illusion caused by atmospheric conditions, especially the appearance of a sheet of water in a desert or on a hot road, caused by the refraction of light from the sky by heated air, or 2. Something that appears real or possible, but is in fact not so. I don't really care for dictionaries. They've always felt too much like rules. Language needs no catechism to celebrate the magic of the world, because doesn't that strike you as the most clinical definition of natural magic? How cynical the definition of our longing, that it has the audacity to judge as real and possible when all great longing is impossible. I have seen mirages move, take form and smile. I saw it in your eyes at a party, a spark of wonder and magic deflected off flushed cheeks and the heat of hushed promises across the distance of a few feet of a dorm room that might as well have been a mile. I chased it, came back the next day, took the long way round through the years to find it was never there. My eyes are older now, body different. Just because it was impossible didn't make it any less beautiful. Just because I've aged doesn't make your laughter any less perfect. Aren't we all just chasing hot air reflecting the light of a promise? I grew up, chased a mirage called respectability, went to a school, chased a mirage called life, ran away, joined the circus, danced like everyone was watching, found you in a supermarket, watched as you disappeared like sand through my fingers, each time, each step, chasing something through the streets, thinking that all roads lead to Rome, when simply they lead me back here to this place, this moment where you sit on my goddamned horizon, shimmering in a light I'll never be the center of. Sometimes you look like her. Other times you're money. Other times your acceptance. Sometimes you're just the calm at the eye of a storm. Always just there. My beautiful mirage. The event horizon of my dreams where all of time has stopped. A hush fallen over a suspended moment of longing. It doesn't matter who or what you are, just that I need you. And what that dictionary tears away from you in its precision is just how beautiful you are, and it forgets just how fast this dreamer can run into oblivion. Teach me to seek with wild abandon. Show me there in the distance just how to dream. Thank you.
Unmute yourself and give it up for Andy.
Great reading, Andy.
Yes.
Yeah, Andy.
Bird. Oh my God.
Good job.
Always bringing the heat. Oh, where is he? He just popped off my screen. Where did Andy go? There he is. Up. He's doing the wave. Thank you, Andy. You stood out. Thank you. All right. So, Andy, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's. I will chuck that in the chat like I normally do.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate you as always, brother. Andy Markert, make sure that you give him a follow. He's going to put his information in the chat. Next, coming up, we have, coming from Southern Cali, Mr. Tesla Somok. Love in the background, as always, man. How are you this evening, sir?
Let me turn on my mic.
Guys, got to be ready. Come on, Mr. Tesla Somok. You've been here for a while.
All right. I just, all right,
Yeah.
ready to go?
Yeah, go ahead. Get into it, sir.
All right, this piece is titled Mines. Across the Yerba Buena stream, there was an old abandoned copper mine believed to be haunted. Some claim that ghosts lived there. My grandfather for many years had farmed the field next to it. It was different from the other fields. The earth was cupric green and with large quarry pieces. It was not the fine sifted granite he was used to. The small field was separated from the stream by a fence that he himself had built out of the same quarry, boulder by boulder stacked upon each other till the field was separated from the stream, the village, and the valley. I remember that field vividly. My brother and I had to cross that field carrying a heavy load, and I know I counted every road that cut through that field. It had been a full day when my brother and I were tending goats. We were playing marbles in between the rows of fully grown corn. Then all we heard was a horrible "maa." My brother's black and white spotted goat had hung over the corral where it had been tied to a post with a rope too short to let it land on the other side. My brother cried, pleaded with the dead animal to be alive. He tried throwing it over the fence, but it was dead. Meanwhile, I was hurriedly putting away the marbles we were not supposed to be playing, and my foot, I tried covering the little pocitos, the holes, with the leftover dirt. Soon after the goat had stopped whining, its last soft murmurs, my grandfather, grandmother, aunts, and uncles came out to see that what had happened. My grandfather pulled his belt off and began beating my brother over his back, his legs, and his butt, while my grandmother held him by one hand and the belt swung above his head. I was crying because he was my brother, and sometimes something inside pulled me towards my brother's watering brown eyes, and maybe I felt guilty too. I yelled, "No, no," and then got a beating too. The next day, my grandfather walked us like prisoners across that field. That mine was haunted, reserved for killed, diseased farm animals. Negro, the dog that had been killed because of his rabies. He too had been thrown in there. The cow named Manzana, which had died of weed poisoning, was also thrown in there. Some where we could see the rats killed in the grain areas were also thrown in there. And as a punishment for our irresponsibility, we were to spend a day there in the dark by ourselves. The last thing I remember seeing was my grandfather's shadow escaping the mines. And I could hear where the last words, "If you guys come out, I will take you in deeper." I'd never gotten so close to my brother before. There we were holding each other, crying and knowing that we dare not run out there in fear of being put in deeper in this mine where we could see no end.
Give it up for Mr. Tessa Somo. Give him some energy.
Yes,
Hey.
that was beautiful.
Very powerful.
Woo. Yeah, I know maybe he's not, but
Mr. Tessa Somo, also a mainstay here on the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Let me unmute him. Should be able to unmute. There we go. Sir, where can the people follow you online?
At Gashes 2019, and I'll put it on there. And also my books on Amazon as Gashes, poems and poetry from the Halls of Injustice. Thanks,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Mr. Tessa Somo, always a mainstay, always getting lost in his stories, always. All right, next coming up, we have Miro. There she is. Let me unmute her.
Hi Advocate. Hi everybody.
How are you this evening?
A little tired, still working a lot, but you know, as always, grateful for the paycheck. So
I hear you. I hear you. All right, go ahead. Without further delay, get into it.
cool. So for Mirage, this was super challenging. So I initially thought, let me get political, but then I didn't have any other thoughts, so I went political. So this is untitled as of right now. Here we go. Speaking of unity, diversity, equality, would be nice if it really were for everybody. If there was a plethora of opportunity for everyone to shine individually, but have the space to come together communally, for society to be love, respect, expression. Values ingrained in this country's documents, sacred, celebrated, but not lived, not defended for the minority, those who are finding it impossible to pursue their happiness because they're too dark, too gay, too foreign, too woman. So liberty and justice for all? A conspiracy to feed kids in classrooms, blinding them to their privilege, safe in the illusion that, as far as they can see, everyone is equal, everyone is free. So when those with eyes open come together in protest to expose the hypocrisy, the clowns in charge freak out and gaslight the country, clinging to the naive who've drained the Kool-Aid, who still believe in the illusion only created to benefit the privileged few, if they only knew. The clowns count on ignorance, on the dedication of the blind across the nation, America firsters, pro-lifers, racist, homophobic fuckers, to keep them in power, promising to make America great again, something the country can jerk off to while they shout about how they're saving unity, diversity, and equality on TV, yet continue to deliver their self-serving agenda, pretending to keep the fading illusion alive of liberty and justice in America. Thank you.
yeah.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for
Fire,
Miro.
Miro.
Tell them.
Hey.
Yes.
Great.
Miro bringing the heat as well, a mainstay here in the Monday Night Online Open Mic, and she's always chatting up people's poems in the chat. Miro, where can the people find you online?
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. So I'm at Miro Reads Books. It's all one word on the Instagram, and I'll put that in the chat as well. Yeah. As always, thank you so much for having me, and for letting me spit what I've got to spit. So thanks.
Thank you, Miro. Make sure you guys check out Miro. She's gonna put her information into the chat. So Real quick, want to share this with you because I know we have some latecomers. This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. You can join us on Zoom. The number is in the bottom left-hand corner, 279-995-364. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our online events. You too can support us with a tax-deductible donation at nuyorican.org/contribute or the Cash App to Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Also, want to put you guys on, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure it's at Advocate of Words. Words is spelled with a Z. Tonight's theme is Mirage. Next week, the theme is Mortal Enemy, Inanimate Object. Pick an object that you hate for whatever reason, write a poem about it. The 26th, which is in 2 weeks, is our Halloween special, Spooky. After that, November 2nd, we're doing Well of Positivity because the day after is when the election will happen and we need a lot of positive thoughts. And on the 9th, the theme is It's Going to Be Okay. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram because this Friday I am hosting an open mic featuring Vanessa Chica and Tamara Saliva. Make sure that you can sign up at robleswritesproductions@gmail.com. All of that information is on my Instagram, so make sure that you are following me so you can not just wait for Mondays. Also, Thursdays at 9 p.m., La Bruja hosts our open mic. That's poetry, singing, comedy, all that good stuff. So we are good for that for the week in terms of open mic. So next coming up, we have the GOAT, Alexander Goldberg, who we haven't seen in a while, I think. Not last week, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Alexander, how are you this evening?
I am good. What a beautiful evening of poetry. I'm glad to be back performing and writing. It's great to be here. Yeah, Mike,
Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome. We missed you. All right, Alexander, let's hear it. Go ahead.
Mirage, as a natural phenomenon, is a refraction of light fluxes on the edges of layers of air with various physical properties. People see what doesn't exist in reality. In a figurative sense, mirage is an illusion, gamble, and deception. Bright examples are promises of Soviet leader Khrushchev in early 1960s that in 1980 there will be a communism, the society of universal happiness. It was written in the program of the party. In 1991, Soviet empire collapsed and violent gangster capitalism emerged on its ruins. Now, Russian government is mired in corruption and lies. It makes me really angry. The title of my poem is I'm Socrates Today. I'm ready to die for beliefs that I hold. I don't need to go to the edge of the world. I am not a hero. I'm owned. I don't roam. I have a bad temper and always stay home. I tell students, question whatever you're told. To live and not learn ain't worth living at all. Some say they know answers to all that you ask them. I say it's a lie and mirage, so don't trust them. They claim to know what truth is, but they know very little. I criticize both rumors and ordinary people. They claim to have a faith, but they don't worship God. The leaders of our state are blasphemous, corrupt. On paper, rights were given. Unmentioned on that note, some citizens don't even deserve the right to vote. Some say I'm causing anger of our unstable nation, and I present a danger by having conversations. I'm just an old philosopher. I'm telling people what I see. But city leaders say I am a threat to young democracy. I understand that all they need is an excuse to silence me. It seems to me our views indeed are stronger than the army is. The questions that I'm asking here are really inconvenient. They'd rather have me disappear. They're really tired of hearing it. They see me as obstruction. I am under arrest for use corruption and destruction of our city-state. For limiting my freedom, I ridicule the judges. I criticize the ones in power. I expose mirages. Now there is a dilemma for our Greek democracy. To them, I am a venom. So what should be the policy? Open society is real, but it's so clear to see. The rulers know just how to deal with dissidents like me. My verdict's finally declared. I get it. It makes sense. I'm sitting there and I'm prepared. I was sentenced to death. Goodbye, my wife, my family. Goodbye, my students, youth. I want to say primarily, before I drink my juice, to rumors, you won't hear my voice, and you won't have to deal with it. But dying is a better choice than living as a hypocrite. But my ideas will live on. I just want you to know that from the seeds that I have sown, philosophy will grow. Remember me, but please don't cry, and share my story, teach. Remember that tonight I die for your freedom of speech. I preach to people how to live and how to act. I try to teach rulers to govern and to serve us. I try to teach them treating people with respect, because I am convinced that everyone deserves it. I pose sharp questions and they cause a controversy. I'm sure these questions will continue to be posed. People should know the truth because I know they're worth it. Mirage and lying should be constantly exposed.
Give me yourself again, Energy Alexander.
Welcome back.
That was exceptionally great.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Bravo. Bravo.
There's a whole production there at the end, drinking his juice. I love it. Alexander, where can the people follow you online, brother?
Alexander Goldberg 35 on Facebook, Gon15 on Twitter, and Gorbensky on Instagram. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alexander. Make sure that you check the chat after you post all that information, because everyone's like, the GOAT is back. They had a lot of nice things to say. Moving forward, next, we are going to Assam Zane, who looks like he is like in front of bookshelves or something, man. I'm jealous right now. That is looking awesome. How are you, Assam?
Good. Back in my parents' basement again.
Oh, snap. Well, listen, if your parents want to adopt another son, holler at me, man. I'm liking those books. All right, get ahead, man. Get into it.
First, I have two short ones, but first, it's, as you know, it's Indigenous Peoples Day. I want to acknowledge that tonight I'm coming to you from the ancestral land of the Nauset people and acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal of the indigenous people of the territory now known as the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, which was established on lands including unceded lands of the Massachusetts, the Wampanoag, and the Nipmuc people. This first poem is called Unceded Land. You have done it again, this time without the modesty it might require, taken your cresting pain and turned it into a kite. This part of the Cape is known for oysters. That part's known for turnips. The playhouse is closed until next season. I keep reporting in this way: fort, hill, rock, harbor. We stand at the edge of Town Cove. You ask why I brought you here and if I remember any of the original intensity. The sun is a kind of gratitude, you say, a continuously ringing bell in the lower belly that we can breathe right into. You will come clean if I ask. We should start to see goldfinches this time of year. How would you describe a warble to someone who has never heard one? I ask. A music without words, a euphemism in the cessation of sound, a scarce Bedouin music where we are in tents and pour each other out, bloated, amorous, into little bone cups for drinking. I say we might be standing on unceded land. I say light in a field. You say I have no need of such things. Just sing to me, baby. Just sing. And this one is called citrine, which is a kind of a beautiful kind of quartz crystal. When I was 8 or 9, my most prized possession was a 4x6 piece of cardboard that had rocks and gemstones glued to it. I would carry it in my backpack every day, memorized the scientific and popular names of each specimen. I loved how everything had two names. We understood early what might pass for precious. The LA Unified School District was no help, never taught us about the intentional killings and the blood-soaked Great Basin. What little I knew about commodity, I learned from my father. We traded in broken bones, felt every mineral surface. I could feel the dark, not darkness. There's a difference between dark and darkness, as deep in earth as endless falling might take you. I recognize it now as the same primordial egg within us out of which all forms arise, then return to in time. You won't believe what you can get, kids nowadays. Collections of snowflake obsidian, red jasper, prehistoric shark teeth, even meteorite fragments, outer space. And of course, they all come with detailed learning guides, which we never had. I never properly thanked you for the citrine you sent to the house. The handwritten note was lovely. I didn't understand what you meant at the time, but now it's different. When you wrote just a little something, I think you meant, when I cry, I do not cry for the thing I've lost. When you wrote, good luck, I think you meant, I hope you open your eyes and see yourself under a tree laden with fruit you cannot name. I imagine you outliving me the way, in some sense, you have already outlived yourself. My daughter is now the age I was then. She passes that citrine all gold and white through her hands. When she asks me where I got it, sometimes I say I found it. Sometimes I say I bought it a long time ago. Thanks.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for a song.
Oh, God,
Thanks, everybody.
Excellent job. Excellent job.
Thank you. Wow.
Like mellowed everyone out. Everyone got pushed back a little, like, oh, let me hold this for a second. Assam, where can we find you online?
I'm on Twitter at IZINEH.
Thank you, Assam. Make
All
sure
right.
you put it in the chat as well. Assam Zane, make sure that you give him a follow. Another mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And when I am ready to retire, his daughter is going to host this show. We have already spoken about it. Okay, next coming up is last week, he was known as F. Cottrell. Today, he is Jeff Cottrell. Let me unmute Jeff. Jeff, how are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm very relaxed. Today is Canadian Thanksgiving, so I didn't have to do any work today.
Awesome. And you got your real name back. You got the Jeff back.
I did. I earned it. I had to work hard to get that J back.
There you go. All right, go ahead, Jeff. Get into it.
Okay, so I wrote a found poem. This is a found poem. It's based on lines from the Twitter account Kids Write Jokes. So there's a website where they take joke submissions from kids, and the Twitter account is the Rejects. So these are rejected kids' jokes. Kids Write Jokes, a found poem. Hello, idiot. Is your refrigerator leaking? You know it is. You're so old, you broke in half. Question, what do you think I am talking about? Something that smells like an elephant's bum, looks like an ogre, and eats rubbish. Answer, you, ha. Imagine if a ham fell off the Eiffel Tower. My eyes flew out when I was eating a taco on the toilet. Why did he go to the toilet? Because he is foolish of the world. What's a fish with no eyes? Dead. There were two fish in a bowl, and one fish looked at the other and said, fish don't talk. How many fish? Because the sky. How about when there is a silly man? There was a guy who had problems. Every time he laughed, he can't breathe. His friend keeps telling him funny jokes without knowing about this, so the guy with problems is like, stop, I can't breathe. So he died. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a shark. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then it eats my whole body. I did not care at all. Doctor, doctor, I think I am a supermarket. Okay, well, I don't want to buy anything. Doctor, doctor, I hit my head. What do you want me to do, stupid? If spiders can't walk, they would be raisins. Did you know what a turkey likes to eat? Probably not turkey. Do you know the chicken who went to the city to buy a hat? How did the chicken survive? Because he ate himself for dinner. What do you get when you cross a T-Rex and a chicken? Nothing but death. How come a chicken didn't eat his sandwich? Because a monkey ate the sandwich. Why did the monkey go to school? Because monkeys don't know anything. Why do monkeys eat banana? Because bananas are not afraid. Why did the banana eat himself? He had nothing. Why did the egg cross the road? Because it was ugly. Why did the frog get the bus to town? He is lazy. What do you call a cat what is broken? Stupid cat. What did the robot say to the centipede? Stop being a centipede. Why did the dragon went camping? What else is he supposed to do? What did the sheep say up a cold mountain? Why am I here? What did the jealous man say to the movie star? You stink, loser. What did Joker say to Batman? You're so stupid. What is the only one thing is Batman scared of? Bats, and also the Joker. Why were cowboys invented? Because they're idiots. Who is the old man that has 6 eyes? It is you. Why did the Skittle go bowling? Because he is part of bowling. What is 70 million plus 22,874,928 plus 74,746 plus 1? Nobody will ever know. A horse walks into a bar. The man says, "Are you an alcoholic?" The horse disappears in a puff of dust and appears at Charing Cross. The girls riding the horse, they all talking and putting on makeup. Then they hated each other. Then they be friends, and they going to sing, and they singing, and everyone is happy. That was Kids Write Jokes, a found poem.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Jeff.
You
Solid.
Jeff.
Those kids need therapy.
Need therapy. I heard someone say that. Those kids need that. Some of those jokes were funny. I liked some of them. I was like, how they reject. All right, Jeff, where can we find you online?
I am easy to find on Facebook and Twitter. I also have short fiction works in progress on Wattpad.com, including a new story I just posted last night called Pencil. I will put the links in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you. Jeff Cottrell, make sure you look for his info in the chat. Another mainstay here. That was funny. That was plagiarism. Found poems or plagiarism. But I like the way he ordered it. It was great. All right. Next coming up, we have Trisha De Jesus. Where is Trisha? I saw it. There she is. Let me unmute Trisha. How are you this evening, Trisha?
A bit tipsy.
A bit tip. Ooh, let me. Every time I go to the cafe, I like to get a bit tipsy. Be a bit tipsy is good with your poetry. So I'm excited to hear. Go ahead.
I stumbled over you while I was swallowing down this forcible displacement, expelling its ire. I feel you. I feel you. I may even have loved you. I appreciate the weight in your ghost presence. It soothes me and I gasp it down in greed that cannot assuage my gnawing famine. I think I process it as need meeting need, the knowledge of you pacing below staircase, as I'm working my way back up from my mental crawl space, where I could pretend at a fleeting kind of happy, where I could pretend I knew what safe even felt like. I was in some pink, anemic miasma fit of rage yesterday. It happens. It has passed mostly. Its remnants are now sadness that hover, clouds dispensing a perverse benediction as they sail and then fade to a dot. At its height, I availed myself of comforts to allay my fears and anger getting away from me, exponential. I huddled in the ball on the couch, smaller, until my own size was negligible. Pillows stacked on pillows, my parapet fortified, though still penetrable. I ate my anxiety away in quarter stones. I tried to initiate conversations with imaginary figures that would restore sanity. I cried, stopped, sang, read, cried some more. Imagine my dismay at this imperfect system, this balance thing. My wrath, my feelings slighted, my loneliness and emotional isolation. It has a reason, believe me, it always has a reason. I convinced myself there's no need for apology or laying out a hasty explanation on the table for others to coldly dissect and observe and find wanting. When the story is told by every person involved, the facts are never present, never all present. The narrator is not always reliable. The mind is a faulty device. The memory is replayed in one way behind these set of eyes, while another set of eyes remember something else. The lips speak the truths that they are familiar with and ignore the ones that course in peripheral veins. Half honesty, half falsehood that do not cause our self-worth to contort. There are secondary characters that crowd the narrative who wish to argue their piece too, making a production of the affair as if oration before a full tribunal, judge and jury. The fingers condemn and point, but arms are welcoming and forgiving, just in case. The councils divide and will work themselves into a frothy argument. They pause to take a break, regroup. Their faces reassure. No accusation, no retribution, but the smile will falter at the corners when it turns its head away. I am alone now, addressing my mounting fury. And oh goddess, she is frightened. Her world contracts and she pleads. We stop to look beneath her feet to make sure the ground is still there. Terra firma becomes a luxury for others to take for granted. They share it, they squander it. For the fortunate, it is abundance, but not everyone is invited to dig their toes in and call upon their tribe to come forth and take place. Everyone still naysayers, town criers on my native land, yelping high-pitched distress signals to gather their own community. Here's where I become me, but not them. Cast out, cast off, no boat provided. Me in my exile, waving at my body, my islands, receding shorelines. Farewell me, my mother soil. The forum and afterthought of my departure amidst mutual pleasantries and plaudits. We never got the chance to ask, but did she ever learn how to swim? Let us pray en masse on her behalf, centering her floating in positive energy, because it's always wise to remember optimistic for the best. It's always wise to remain optimistic for the best possible outcome. I send my reply back, message in a bottle, with love. I cannot cling on to the resentment, have it sit between my teeth as I bite down with whatever might I have left in my jaw. I release it in relief, maybe a little bit in defeat. I am exhausted inside my own mind and my body is fast following suit. I forgive the tribe, I have to, in part because perhaps I am truly not a patient individual. And this seething, this enmity, it's getting old and no one else is suffering save me, intent upon turning on the spit of my own self-torture. I must let go when my well-being is threatened inside a falsehood that sears as it approaches. I loosen my grasp in order to find how wholly I was tethered, firmly invested root and foundation. That part of me nourished the usurpers while starving the natives. And here we are disparate lands, parts eroded. Furthermore, and my detractors can quote me on this, I forgive the tribe because tucked in the sameness of their own pods, they are worth empathy after all. Their own fears never allowing venture beyond what they're adamant is the only reality that matters, what their vista can be relied on to remain tranquil and unfailingly beige. Never mind that the edges skew, distorted along the horizon. For you see, in closing thoughts, I am free floating. The sky is above, the sea is below, as they should be. No, dear one, this is not a mirage. Upon me, the land is cradle of creation. I am emergent, birthed anew with the words we whisper, laying low among the first ashes. The end, more wine.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Trisha.
Thanks, Trisha. Priorities.
Trisha De Jesus taking us on a journey. Let me unmute Trisha so she can let us know where we can find her online, and then she can get back to her wine. Trisha, where can the people find you online?
On Instagram at Find_Bell. Oh my God, my words are slurred. At Finn. At Finn_Bell, PHY_NNE_BELLE. Ta-da.
There you go. Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you.
Trisha De Jesus. Next coming up is Mr. Speaker. There he is. Let me unmute him. Mr. Speaker, how are you? Oh, trying to unmute you. There we go.
Good. I think you skipped over Sam, but I'm good.
Oh, wait. No, you're right. Sorry. Let me go to Sam. Thank you. Mr. Speaker is such a gentleman. That's right. Sam Park. I'm sorry, Sam. I don't know how I skipped you. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Mr.
Thank you
Speaker.
to Mr. Speaker for giving that shout out. He totally didn't have to. I would have waited, but thank you.
That's what's up, man. He coming from my job. He like, look, I gotta come and share a poem and do your job words. All right. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead. You get into it, Sam.
Word. So tonight I have two poems for y'all. The first one I'm going to read is Catching Water. And I read this a few weeks at Monday night open mic, but then I just like wanted to make it better. So this is what it is. This is the first one. Catching water. Capturing you is like catching water. There are parts of you that fit into the contours and crevices of my hands perfectly, as if I was always meant to hold you. I collect your pools of thought, curling my fingers around them to keep them safe, sacred, protected, and every once in a while, I am met with a mirror of my own countenance. I drink you. You hydrate me. I feel you trickling down my throat, cooling my heated opinions and softening my tongue. I wade into you. You cleanse me. When you rain on me, your precipitating ideals, I cradle my palms and collect as much of you as I can, folding my fingers tightly to keep any droplets of you I can catch. Like sweet spring rain, you leave kisses on my fingertips, puddles on my fingerprints, and you melt into my pores, appearing as if we were always the same shape. But you are fluid, and that is hard to grasp. It's not that my hands aren't strong enough to hold you. It's the peaks and valleys in them that were created to irrigate the parts of you that I wasn't meant to hold. These spare drops that trace down to my elbows leave cold breezes of evaporated expectations. When I take a sip of the remaining reflection, my thirst becomes greater than what I am capable of holding, and then I realize that what could nourish me could also drown me. And then the second poem I wrote was with this topic. It is called Shadow of a Doubt. I used to have this habit of pushing people away from me. It was a phobia turned into resentment, turned into expectation and guarantees that they were just visitors of my heart, filling up a temporary vacancy. All of this I believed, and I learned to hide my vulnerabilities, which only encouraged my greatest worries to turn into even greater possibilities. I was sipping a cocktail of dehydrated hopes and fleeting company, tasting the bitterness of my reality, letting it intoxicate my dreams with shadows of doubts and pessimistic fantasy. With every cigarette I lit that released embers into the atmosphere, I'd watch it burn slowly, anticipating an eventual ending was drawing near. Perhaps I was addicted to the high of fear, because that was more of a friend to me than the relationships that I revered. But sooner or later, it was made crystal clear that this shadow of doubt was what truly interfered. It clouded my vision, even though promising chances did appear, but I got so used to hiding my heart that for a while it seemed like it disappeared. Like an architect draws conclusions upon specific measurement with a side of delusion, I drew the meticulous illusion that led me to confusion that letting anyone in would be just an intrusion. But then I realized that abiding on this resolution would only result in imminent, fruitless seclusion. I am a new lover in this part of my evolution, and that's only a result of this revolution. Manifesting a partnership upon the foundation of distrust is the same as the hope of quenching thirst when you are surrounded by dust. Projecting past fears onto new pursuits is a waste of time, so I'm looking to possess someone's heart and let them possess mine. There's a delicate adornment of lessons that are linked to me and chained, and a small clasp around my heart because it is no stranger to pain. And though I keep these protective measures to sustain, I've lost the expectation of heartbreak and rely on the faith that remains. I am worthy of finding a love that's whole, one that risks with hope so my ego is no longer in control. And though my heart still has a few bruises and holes, what remains strongly intact is my vulnerable soul.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Sam Park.
Beautiful, Sam. On tonight.
Usual delivers.
Sam is on fire right now. So many quotables in those poems. Sam, where can the people follow you online?
You can find me at Zaddy_beats. That's on Instagram. I curate playlists. I'm also going to make a playlist for my writers, which is a new idea, but I was like, duh. Anyway, you can also find my Spotify, Zaddy Beats, but I will also post the link down below. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful week, everyone.
Thank you, Sam. That is Sam Park. And you know, we keep asking people to put their handles out there so you can give them a follow, see more of what they're doing, and we're building community here. There's a lot of poets who speak outside of Monday night, and some have been published, doing works, doing shows. So make sure you connect with everyone. Next coming up is the real gentleman of the evening, and that is Mr. Speaker. Sir, how are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, and I'm straight and in order because of you. Quick to have my back and put me on the right. I appreciate it, man. All right, let's hear what you got, poet.
Believe it. Believe it. There are facts and information in books, but some of you won't read it. There's oxygen in water, but none of you can breathe it. There are different things in all 50 states, but this one, you won't even leave it. Even when someone finally tells you the truth, like a mirage, you do not believe it. There are cautions posted on the roads, so you better heed it. You could be headed for destruction, but you cannot perceive it. You may not believe in God, but what will you do when you first see him? Success and heaven are out there for you, but without hard work, you will never achieve them. You want a relationship, but you find it hard to conceive it. You have so much old baggage, and you just cleave to it. There is education for you in college, but you act like you don't need it. Here are some facts. So open your mind and your heart so that you can see it. Fact: Noah took 7 each of the clean animals on the ark, not just 2 each. Read it again. Fact: At the time of Jesus' death, crucifixions were carried out on trees or long wooden poles, not crosses. Do some research. Fact: When Jesus lived, there were no letter J's in any language, anywhere. Fact: The letter J was invented in the 17th century. That's 1600 years after his death. Deduction: When Jesus walked the earth, he was not called Jesus. Do some research and then come see me. Fact: King James had the Bible rewritten to spread the Christian religion to Europeans after the Jews and Africans had somewhat rejected Christianity. If you do not believe what I've told you, open your mind and then explore it. Do your own research. Like a mirage, baby, you should not ignore it. Set your goals so you can achieve him. Books have information, so I suggest you read them. God created you, put you here so you can receive this. I've done my part. Facts, knowledge, information. You know, real spit. I have just delivered it.
Unmute yourself and give it up for Mr. Speaker.
All right.
Work.
Whoa.
You did.
Mr. Speaker goes in. He always goes in, man, and he's never afraid. I love that. I love that about him. Mr. Speaker, where can the people find you online, sir?
I'm gonna post it in the chat. But yeah, keep it rolling, keep it rolling. I'm gonna post it in the chat.
Got you. Thank you very much. True gentleman right there, Mr. Speaker. Next coming up, we have Generalissimo. Where is, oh, he's right there on page. You want to see it with the hat. Got him. How are you, sir? You should be able to unmute yourself.
I think I am, finally, yes. So
There you
first of all, Sam Park stole the show. I have 3 poems. If you don't interrupt me like last week, I can get through them, so I'm going to start right now.
Go ahead.
The 3 faces of history. History is a strange word. History is about what happened yesterday. History is often remembered differently by different people. History is knowledge and lessons learned. History can mold what happens in the future through mistakes made in the past. History can teach us what is good and what is bad. History can teach us who to love and who to hate. History can be remembered differently by different people. History can be fact or fiction or even a matter of opinion. History is a strange word, or is it a concept, or might it be just a thought? Poem 2, a 10-speed tour through modern history. When Challenger exploded, I was in a class called Psychology of Personal Growth. The teacher, a psychologist, moved chairs into a circle each week to treat her lectures like a group therapy session. I don't remember much more about the class except when I described it to my dad. He called it hippy dippy. I rode my 10-speed back to my dorm. People were spilling from the common room, which had 2 ovens, a table, and chairs that sat 6, 2 couches, and 2 armchairs, and a TV mounted high on a wall like in a hospital room. It was like a New York City subway at rush hour. Students standing shoulder to shoulder, barely room to move, all watching an image of the space shuttle suddenly turning into 2 plumes of smoke over and over and over and over again. The same way I would watch the World Trade Center demolished by terrorists 25 years later. It wasn't so much surreal as unreal. It was like a bad B movie with unrealistic special effects. It was my first where were you historical moment. Where were you when FDR died, when World War II ended, when JFK was shot, when Martin Luther King was assassinated, when I returned from Psychology of Personal Growth after Challenger was no longer, everything had stopped. On 9/11, when one plane, then another took out the Twin Towers like a well-choreographed 1-2 TKO from a Rocky movie, everything closed down. Portland, Maine was a ghost town. Lower Manhattan was covered in toxic dust, just like the skies above Cape Canaveral had permanently imprinted astronaut ashes and dust into Florida firmament and my memory. Poem 3, common sense has drowned in Lake Michigan. A sheriff in Michigan claims militiamen who own multiple military-style guns weren't planning to kidnap Michigan's governor, hold a mock trial, then execute her, but instead conduct a citizen's arrest and hand her over to authorities. As if she's not the governor and authority, but because a con man who conned his way into the White House demoted her via Twitter to that woman and refused to condemn white supremacists and armed militias who use the same guns used by drug dealers, terrorists, and mass shooters, called her that woman and tweeted, "Liberate Michigan." The governor of Michigan is no longer governor in the minds of those militiamen. Thank you, everyone.
Wow.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Generalissimo.
Yes.
Nice, especially that last one, man. That was great.
Thank you.
Generalissimo, rapid fire right there, man. I love it. Love it. He's like, I'm getting it in this week. Let me unmute him. One more time, let us know where we can find you online, sir.
Brian Ira Franco on Facebook and GNRL SMO on Instagram. And I wrote those 3 pieces at a workshop I did this weekend that was out of El Paso. I'll put the link to it. They do it every Saturday on Zoom. It's free. It's a cool one.
Awesome. Thank you. Make sure you guys check the chat for the info that Generalissimo is going to share with us. Love it. Really hoping you connecting with people. Next coming up, oh shoot, she got her hoodie on. I feel like we having the same day in the same mood, and that is Ray Jane. Ray Jane, you should be able to unmute yourself. You there? Oh, no. Let's try again. There we go.
What's going on?
There we go. I love it. You seem like you just like relaxed, chilling at home with the hoodie. You know, the weather's getting a little colder. How are you?
I'm cool, man. You know, today was an interesting day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we gonna feel it? You're gonna share that energy with us?
I hope so, man. I really hope so. I tried to take the prompt for Mirage and do a little something different with it, kind of like well, I hope y'all feel it either way. All right. All right, so this is called Mirage Made Perfect. I am digging up my jewels for you, dipping deep into the caverns of me for you, sniffing out my own frankincense, offering you my myrrh. An alchemist, I am making gold from the nuggets of me planted by karmic kings, shining the brightest, mixing most potent potions to intoxicate you. Donating dopeness disguised as dopamine, dominant, dispensing endless endowments of energy to industrialize inhibitions into intent. Spoon feeding serenades of serotonin, siphoning songs of Cyrano, spurring your strength. Subsidizing light so you can see me. Appealing your awareness, asking for advances of affection, attested, affirmations, assertions, assertions, announcing that you can afford me. I am mining my mind, making mistakes minimal, mincing memorized mechanics, molding masterfully, merging mediastinums. I embrace you. Excavating embers, evading, entreating episodes, unearthing your triggers so I may gaze at the elegance of your roots. I am rerouting rage when raucous, replanting rambunctiously, rewrapping your cocoon in case I have to release you. I am your cauldron, cooking your catastrophe, coddling your comeuppance, caressing your consciousness, collecting your capricious cares, corrupting cumbrance to consistency, connecting your circle. I am completion. Thank you.
Mute
Yes!
yourself. Give it up for Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah, all right.
Killed it.
Beautiful.
Killed it.
With the alliteration the whole way through, never easy. Ray, where can the people find you online?
Appreciate y'all. Today was a crappy day for me. So being here with y'all is really dope. If you would like to follow me and hear more content on Instagram, you can find me at 3_4 clairvoyant. You can find all of my content at itsrayjane.com. Thank y'all again. Thank you, Advocate.
Thank you. It's RayJane.com. Make sure you go check her out. She's got SoundCloud with like 50 recordings. So if you dug her stuff, you could go check it out. I know those who here at the mainstay with the Monday night, they already know that. And I always repeat that. But for those of you who may be new, make sure that you go check her out. Speaking of those who may be new, let me go here real quick. And I want to give a shout out to the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can support us with a tax-deductible donation at nuyorican.org/contribute, or send Cash App to Nuyorican Poets Cafe. If you want to join us on Zoom, the number's on the bottom left-hand side, 279-995-364. If you want to sign up for a Monday night online open mic, you would do so the Sunday night before. Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern is when we open up the open mic. You could go to nuyorican.org and you sign up there. You click full events calendar and you get an artist RSVP ticket. With that being said, let's continue on to Catherine Sweeney. Let me unmute Catherine, representing the West Coast. How are you, Catherine?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm glad that you're back. I'm becoming addicted to your poetry. So you ready to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
This is called These Are Private Words Addressed to You in Public. For a short while, I could forgive the grainy recording of our voices, whispers jammed into tiny wires, tucked away in the long lag of distance. What I accept is your voice, a howl, backlit cicadas singing, an imagined dog roped to a fence, barking. I've become obsessed with the amount of time it takes a grain of wheat to find its way from ground to mouth. I'm hungry. I pretend to forget you over time. I continue to eat. There are years when the rhythm of body is everything. Brief moments worshiping the slow stretch of thigh, the acute pain of an exposed nipple, a blurry image in glass, mistakes. I don't know why the velocity of engorgement is testimony to some sort of heroic hydration. I do know when you run your cock against my cheek, I ache to take you in. No one explained this part. You never told me how you learned to smell me from across a crowded room. I've stopped wearing perfume. Possible signals of return include a horizon teeming with yellow-tailed hawks, a rotting pile of sycamore branches in the yard, the increase in dead mice left by my cats. How easily intention is tamped down in damp shadows of promise. The smallest movements of sound prove out hope. We are afraid of decay. We grow old. I wait. We plant herbs instead of flowers, sweeping the dust so it doesn't gather. Words like longevity or continuity. How far we've come moving toward instead of away. We abide in the natural order of things. A celestial pattern confused for fact, the not so subtle counting of moons, the time it takes trauma to manifest in our children's children. There's a certain magnetism in the skate sacks hatching at sunset, dead, low water mixing with the sharp shadow of a body.
Wow.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Catherine Sweeney.
Okay.
That's Catherine.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you. Wow.
Absolutely.
The words, the voice, the pacing, it comes together, man.
Thank you.
It's like a championship team coming together. Catherine, where can people find you online?
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
Awesome, thank you. Catherine Sweeney out in the West Coast, man. I'm really enjoying her stuff. I'm glad she's coming back. So next coming up is, we are taking a break from the open mic because we are going into the Skiff verse with our man, the New York OG, Paul Skiff. Paul, how are you this evening?
I'm okay. I kind of sympathize with what Ray said. Wasn't a great day, but you know, you just put one foot in front of the other. I'm happy to be here with everybody. Happy to see everybody here. I also want to second what was said earlier. You know, happy Indigenous Peoples Day, and it made me think. You know, how much longer are they going to have to keep this statue of Christopher Columbus up there in Columbus Circle? How much longer are they going to call it Columbus Circle? They should call it Lenape Circle. That's what I say. Anyway, maybe you shouldn't have let me maunder on so much. I do have a poem that's kind of hinges on mirage. And so it feels really good to follow the poem that just was floated. Para este poema, mis acentos están en la silla detrás. Es simplemente un poema como un pedazo de humo en el aire. Salt, cotton, ginger, granite pupils, hollow with night stars and day stars, stamping their feet, revolving within eyes, Swivel run of size, she had the name frenzy, her body a blade, pennant strung and braced into surf, wind empty, empty eyes that sleep. Sweet coffee and grit, planes never run into stars, and I think the clouds should be pink, but they look gray. Far away the air is hard. Syrup, clove-eyed old dog dragging out prostitutes, sauce with teeth, sleek as flax seed. But we aren't asking any questions in a room which only street lamps shed on. It is a kind of light our faces are cradled by, loosened from their roots, even spilled off up the floor, a tree scribbling its time organs unscrewed into childhood of foreign talk pile of tangles, a ruins, ocean edge, slit up far, streaming, fingertips that sigh on cord of impossible use, coughing, season fossils, confusion we can't understand by age, our bodies left like shells with no such advantage on time, no reclamations, the lines in our palms transparent. Transparent, oh, transparent, oh, transparent. Oh, you're doing that to be like night. The night wears a long velvet dress, its pile deep as outer space, tired of the growing inability of enjoyers with no denials, denials that have no motive. I am lying. I am lying on the roof of an explanationless disappearance. I am trying to imagine how a cat sees me, the cat's eye, facetless pool, secret of all water I do not understand, my infirmities and phrase excluded by clarity beyond precision. The cat has fooled and withered me with stillness stare. I never wake up quiet. You are wearing a black velvet dress with holes in it, so you will be like the night. White body in warm velvet dress, combed by when time. That's how you got right in here, unwrapped out from the box of outside. Break the order. Toss the unarranged name of world edge and slumbered, given by opiate or lysergic that raises up out your empty stomach late at night. Icon dim, whispering slave mother, burning pan of fragrance, room redolent, medicine of tolerations, perseverances, and silence. But now no one has health. How brave does someone have to be the torn velvet dress of night? Capturing minuscule blue beads of space outside ridicule, leave cleansing strung into thick strands of overcoming the flaw through which you elude perfection by raising your head with a smile, not knowing you did that. How cunning does someone have to be to stash their mind in safety of purified seconds far, far away? In the memory of a cat, I am filtering all the torment into the oil of a cat's eye. Blue bead by blue bead by blue bead. Finally, I will mistake my own self irrevocably, as though what I see in the sky at night is the clear skin on my shoulder, threaded through subtraction of distance. I saw night. I saw night sitting in a chair, drinking water. No, did I?
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Paul Skiff.
All right.
All right, Paul.
Wow.
We had just entered the Skiff universe. We are now back at the Monday night online open mic with the Nuyorican Poets Cafe every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Paul, where can the people find you, sir?
It's just paulskiff.com. Simple. Thanks again, Advocate. It was great to be here with everybody. It's always kind of a doorway into another step forward through the world we're all in right now. So it's good to be sharing all this energy with everybody as a kind of sustenance to keep moving. Thank you all.
Thank you. That is Paul Skiff. You can check him out, paulskiff.com. He is a Nuyorican Poets Cafe OG. He's got probably more ownership to the Nuyorican than me, man. So make sure you go check him out. Next, coming up, we have Dane Ince. Let me unmute Dane, who's kind of in his own universe too back there. I know it looks a little bit like stars. How are you, Dane?
I'm doing well.
Oh, we just see your head now. You're like a floating head amongst like.
Yeah, I'm floating. Paul did that to me.
Yeah, he's got that effect.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have a Paul Skiff day. I'm gonna work on it. But right now, we're focused on Dane. Go ahead, Dane. Share yourself.
Yeah, I'm beaming in via satellite from San Francisco, the homeland of the Ohlone, who spoke Ramaytesh. They're the people of the West. I have two pieces. Bongo. Hey, bongo player, bongo me an intro, bongo me a bridge. I fill in the sorry words, snap the happy sadness, you beat the skin. Bongo, till yeah, the end. I want to see this drive-in picture one more time, again. Bongo till the beginning, bongo. Inner, outer. I see the amber altar, the way the blind kiss it with their fingers, the shine of sun through window, ghost residing nearby, the spirit of the host guides, the home of the resting crystal. After you talk, I cannot stop crying. I'm ashamed for what I have done. Asking for the largest slice of pie, you sliced off a piece of your heart and put it on a plate. Smiling human grace. I hope I was not selfish, but I was. Really, it was not a heart part you cut out, but bloody cancer poison, a zombie spore infection that crippled angel wings limp and failed to kill you. I see only a little of what you have been through. Fly like arrows stabbing wounds, final beheading, making martyr of you, you saint. You smile when you step out. But I saw you like you were before, when you were in prison, praying, lashed with stones and thrown into the lake, tortured and tormented. Still, you would not break. Still, you were true. A week in the furnace, the flame not burning the song and spirit of you. You find a way to come as fully free yourself, right on through, right on through, right on through. You were coming right on through. You come right on through. But I knew you. I knew you were then. I felt so honored in a holy way. You sleep on dirty shirts on the floor. You see what I love here? It's you and the constellation you bring, the constellation here of my own. I love it here. Here I am, trunk of desperation tricks. Pity is the currency of negative value. The whole is there. Holy, holy, it is there. It is there. I do not know how to be. I do not know what to do. Everyone is more than me, the me of nothing. I gave it away at the midway tickets. Now I am stupid. Even adolescent memory just terrorizes me. I know even though the excuse, I wobble off inner, outer space. They tried to ruin you. They tried to ruin the ship of your body, chopping down your mast, cutting out what they thought made you a defiant woman. And still they did not learn that you are in the image of, and no mortal kills God. When you boiled in the soup, before I knew how you were then, I felt so honored in a holy way. I wobble off into inner, outer space. Thank you.
Come on. Mute yourselves and give it up for Dane.
Love that, Dane.
Yes.
Dane, and so happy to have him be part of our community. This is his fourth time with us. Dane, where can the people find you online? Oh, I muted you by accident. Try again.
Undo it. Okay. Yeah. 2019 at 2019 DMI on Instagram or Dane Ince on Facebook. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Dan. Dane, make sure you put your information into the chat. So next coming up is Kai Brackens. But before we get to Kai, about to go right to her, want to let you know that one of our family members here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic, Mr. Paul Conqueso, has put this together. The Nuyorican Poets Cafe and Bloomfield College present the Latinx Heritage Hybrid Show. And there is going to be featuring 15 poets from the open mics, from the Monday and Thursday open mics. I being one of them. I'm excited to do it. It is this Wednesday. It is hosted by none other than La Bruja. It's from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. You see the Zoom ID right there. I'm going to make sure that I put that up on my Instagram. So if you're following me, you'll get it. If you're following a bunch of people here on the open mic, I'm sure that they're going to be putting it up on their social media as well. So I wanted to make sure I quickly mentioned that. And now we are going to Kai Brackens. Where is, there she is. Hold on 1 second. Make sure, cool. Muted everyone. Someone got unmuted. Had to quickly fix that. Let me unmute Kai. There she is. How are you this evening, Kai?
I'm doing all right. I'm here. I made it.
Awesome, awesome. You're here, you made it. All right, now spit that fire. Let's go.
So this one isn't directly tied to the idea of mirage, but I used to say that I worried that this poetry in me would just end up being a mirage, and so this is called Writing a Legacy. When someone asks me why I write, I do not think about that one time in middle school where I won $20 for performing a poem about the seasons that my mom helped me write. What comes with the 4 seasons sounding more like the stereotypical game of describing basic occurrences in the natural world, as if anything I said could possibly make it more awe-inspiring than it already was. I do not think of some typical roses are red and violets are blue bullshit. By the way, violets are and have always been purple. Words just love to distort the truth sometimes, you know. No, when someone asks me why I write, my mind time travels to senior year, when I read JC my first real poem. When I spoke loud, fat mixed girl into more than just pretty words on a page, and watched as her eyes grew misty as I read it in the stairwell of our high school, and saw people stopping to listen in the hallway to hear the words that flew away from my mouth. The first time I ever felt that kind of power on my tongue. When they ask me why, I'm forced to resurrect memories of poetry that I didn't even know I had. I remember nights of watching poets put into words something I had only ever felt. Remember 10th grade, where I wrote a prelude to the poet I would someday be. Remember the nights in Kansas, sitting with the club that I built from the ground up, raised from the bones of that tiny town to find the poets hiding in its skeleton. Remember the times where we spoke poetry into stardust and planets, when we became the divine beings we had only ever read about. Yeah, those were the good times. And of course, not all memories are beautiful. Like with all things, there have been falls when I had only known rise. Some of the memories are composed of days where I reached for the magic and couldn't find it, maybe because of the wrong time, place, or poem. Others, because of the broken pieces of me filling pages with incomprehensible metaphors and feelings. Pain sometimes does that, you know. Makes it easier to find the PTSD in me than the poet some days. Even still, when they ask me why I write despite the disappointment that not every open mic is going to be earth-shattering, I tell them about the first time I ever took the stage, how I realized I had never known the feeling of fire in my lungs till that day, never felt so heard until that moment, how Boom Slam 2019 still feels like a dream to me, but 2019's gone, and now that is just a memory. This is here and now I write for me. I write for the missing pieces of me that are trapped somewhere in a timeline of photographs and diaries, to tell myself that I am not Atlas and my complex does not define me, that my trauma is still a raging battlefield and it is valid, and I can talk about it without concern that someone else will find it uncomfortable to be burdened with the knowledge of its existence, as if I haven't been burdened with living with it. I write despite the people who told me to be smaller, be softer, quieter, anything other than myself. And trust me, there are days I still can't find the magic and wonder if this poetry is just mere illusion, that there are still days and will always be days where I will wrestle with this head that holds my words hostage and this heart that hurts so much it's afraid to let these lines find their place on the paper. But I remember that where there was days were nothing but a ghost of a girl who died with everything innocent, her poetry lived. That it breathed this fire into me, and I'll be damned if I let it die. I wasn't born a poet. I was built one, and I write to maintain this machine.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Kai Brackens.
That was
Damn, Kai.
Beautiful.
Maintain the machine.
I went in. I built one. Kai, where can we find you online?
Okay, you can find me at Kylie Brackens on Facebook, but I don't go on there very much because my Republican side of the family is killing me right now. They're nonsense. And then you can find me on IG at Kai_LoudFatMixedPoet or Kylie2001, also on IG. So,
Thank you, Kai. Make sure you put the information in the chat. That was Kai Brackens, another mainstay here at the New York. I'm telling you, we build the community, follow these people. Next coming up is Jenna Can Do No Wrong Fleecing. I can't wait for the day that Jenna comes on here and says, I was walking through the St. John's campus and when someone yelled, Jenna Can Do No Wrong Fleecing, I'm waiting for that day. Jenna, how are you this evening?
I'm good. I have my last midterm on Wednesday, so I've been studying a lot, but I managed to write something new and something old. So I'm going to read two things today. And so, yeah. So as any poet knows, the hardest poem to write is the shortest. And I wrote a haiku for you all. And Advocate, I hope you appreciate this. It's called Jenna Can Do No Wrong Fleecing.
Yes! It's happening, people! It's happening! Go ahead.
I can do no wrong, or so Advocate might think, if only he knew.
Oh, I love it! I love it! I love it! Bones in the closet. Okay. I appreciate that. Go ahead, Jenna.
Yeah. So that was the first piece. And then this is another piece. Today I've been studying a lot, and it took me until like 6:30 to realize that I hadn't eaten anything today. And I've had a lot of problems trying to take care of myself. So this poem is sort of about this, and it's called My Job. My cousin's best friend mother would always invite us over for food. She would pile our plates high with Ethiopian rice, injera, and various salt and sweet meat mixtures. She would say, "Start working on this," as she handed the plate to us. Like eating was a job, like I was a prisoner of a 9-to-5. And I don't know if I should blame society or the food itself, because with every spoon I enabled oppression, because from the time I clock in till I clock out, I'm making myself part of this cycle of debt, working for minimum wage, eating more than I can afford because I simply just can't stop. And I don't know how to breathe sometimes, because it's awfully hard with a job like this. Yesterday, someone told me I couldn't possibly have an eating disorder because I'm not skinny enough. She tells me I'm not even that fat. I remind her that shame and self-hatred don't look so slimming on me. I mention how it doesn't fit me just right as it might on others. I'm scared to say that often when I'm eating, I'm in a trance, like I'm repeatedly bagging groceries or restocking a shelf. I'm not actually thinking about the quantity of the action, just that it's done with such precision till it's too much for the rest of you, till this is inappropriate to be considered complete. Because my whole personality is overdoing it and never half doing anything. And I guess that just translates into my eating. And I can't say I'm sorry enough to my body for how I'm wording it. And the worst thing is, I don't even know if I'm really sorry. I can't say sorry enough. I can't say sorry enough because with a job like this, I don't know how an apology could ever be considered genuine. Should I say sorry even if I don't mean it? It's like I picked the opportunity with no benefits, no vacation time, and I don't know how I would ever forgive myself for the way I've treated this body, because I'm working on overdrive and I'm just ready to crash from the exhaustion. They say if you love what you do, it'll never feel like a job. But how could I love this body that's always working when its job has just been providing me with life, and I'm always abusing its kindness? So how do I write myself up? I need to give myself a pink slip, and my stomach has earned a raise, but I'm not sure how I could treat my body in a way where it doesn't put in its 2-week notice too soon. I'm sorry, my body. I know you only ever did what the job you applied for told you to do.
Unmute yourself and give it up for Jenna.
Damn. Amazing.
Killed it.
Yes.
Jenna went in as always. Every time Jenna comes on to the open mic, she always gives a piece of herself to us. I so appreciate it. Jenna, where can the people find you online?
Thank you so much, Advocate. You guys can follow me at Jenna's Poems with a Z at the end. I've been uploading that slowly as I write. Yeah, and you can add me on Facebook with this name. I think I pointed to the right corner. Jenna Fleeson, and thank you so much, Advocate. I really appreciate the platform and everyone's energy, and we're doing great so far, so I'm excited for who's to come.
Thank you, Jenna. I appreciate it. And the haiku, it's been immortalized. Now all we have to do is we have to get her to publish it. Then that haiku is immortalized and the nickname is immortalized. So one day when your grandkids are studying Jenna Fleeson's poetry and they're like, what's this she could do no wrong? You will know where it came from. Jenna Fleeson, everyone. Okay, next coming up, we're going to Colorado to Mr. Michael Sindler. Michael, how are you this evening?
Hey, doing good. Jenna, you just kind of put me over the edge. I've been trying to talk myself into making injera bread for days. I think now I'm going to do it and cook myself some good food. But with this, Advocate told me not allowed to use screen share, and that's all right. Sounds good. But I just put in the chat link if anybody wants to look at a picture of what I'm doing. And I promise you, Advocate, it's not anything nasty. I swear I wouldn't do that to you. But with the idea of Mirage and with this being Indigenous Peoples Day, I want to do something sort of appropriate. This is called You Paint My Place, and it's inspired by a painting by Walter Ufer, who I have to admit actually treated Native Americans better than most of the other artists down there in Santa Fe. But it's called You Paint My Place. You paint my place, but not my people. Try and pin down the irretrievable. Your paint can't recreate the magic of sacred dances or the tragic cry of the land, a constant sound since you invaded, or a way of life that slowly faded. You think you capture our tragedies and our tradiciones? Consider yourself a sort of court magician. Your canvases reap great riches, yet we see not a penny. You sketch and paint our once sacrosanct landscape with color palette drawn from ground you've raped. With whites, it's never give, it's always take. You can't appropriate what we are inside, can't understand our sorrows, can't feel our pride rooted in the experience of rapture. Your vision is a hollow shell in which hides that which you'll never see, never touch, you can never capture. You paint my place, but not my people. You make a myth where none is needed. Your false mirror reflects savage stereotypes. We disappear before your eyes. You paint a lie when you paint my place. You paint only yourself. And I'd like to do one more. Grab another image here for you. And this is sort of actually bringing more modern thing. And this one is called Holy Toast, and it's inspired by a Louis Tapia sculpture painting called Heavenly Toaster, which once again I put into the chat if anybody wants to just pop that up. Literally, Holy Toast. You think I'm just a piece of toast? I'm not. I'm a freaking Holy Ghost. I'm the mother in your dreams, and yet you would smear me with jam, or even worse, margarine? Don't you see and smell magic before you? I pop up perfect in my glory, radiating warmth and compassion, tried in the flame and never bested. Your redemption, brown and beautiful, a true spirit of Judea, leavened, salted with blessed tears. Can you not recognize a miracle before your eyes? Am I but a communion wafer you digest to request my son's favor? Am I just another flavorful and textured part of a sullen, soulless sandwich you devour without thinking twice about the few precious hours you have to live and understand? Am I just toast in your empty mind and stomach, your burnt conscience and burnt hand? Thank you. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Mr. Sindler.
Michael Sindler, come to us from Colorado. Yes, we don't allow screen shares because some people had put some unsavory things early on. The cafe was like, never again.
Yes,
So-
I understand, but you know, I would never do something like that. I respect
I know.
the place. Okay.
Of course, I
total
know you
respect.
would.
Yes.
I just, the cafe gives me some rules. I
Hey,
understand
man,
it.
I
but-
think that's incredibly reasonable. I have no problem at all. But yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you, Michael. That is Michael Sindler, who doesn't have social media, so that's why we're not saying anything. You know, he's running from the feds. Okay, next coming up, we've got Max C. There's Max. Let me unmute Max. Hey, Max, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing all right for the most part. I
Okay.
did face plant off of a chair the other night, and so I have a bruise probably about this big. But such is life, you know? It
Well,
be
thi-
like that sometimes.
This is what you got to do, Max. All right. I told this to my kid who got stitches. When you see people and they ask you what happened, you tell them 7 people jumped you, 6 of them are in the hospital. And then if they ask, well, what happened to the 7th? You just say nothing. You just, that's it.
Don't worry about it.
There you go. All right. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to let you get into it. Go ahead.
This one is called, Please God, Stop Using the Words Best Days of Your Life Around a Person with Depression. College will be the best years of your life, said by an adult to a sophomore. A year and a quarter in, and the sophomore sits directionless.
I assume college is different now than it was back then, and it is. But shouldn't it still be the best years of my life? Or will I be robbed of that freedom once again? As every time I have reached out for childhood, it has run away from me like we were playing tag. As per usual, I cannot catch up. Tripping and falling behind in classes, viewing everything that goes wrong as a personal failure. I don't know if that's correct, if this is out of my control or reins I just need to grab a hold of to make it all better, and I don't know which is worse. Because my comfort has melted like ice cream in the desert. Learning during COVID-19 isn't really the best for a music ed major with ADHD, but I can't tell if I need help or I'm just complaining. As best years of my life play in my head on repeat, is the future concrete or disappearing into the waves of the summer sun, the fake water glare on hot roads leading home if I finally decide to give up on the best years of my life? But the suffocating heat won't smother me yet. And as mirages of best disappear, I march further into the sands, hunting for the true oasis of a day that will be better.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Max C.
Good job, Max.
Excellent, Mike. Excellent job.
Max C, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Max, where can the people find you online?
Y'all can find me on Instagram, either at MaxieBoy, MaxieBo1, or at MaxieBoy_poetry. Swap out that one for an I_poetry.
Thank you, Max. Make sure you put your information into the chat. That was Max C. Next coming up is Nita Chase. Now, I know Nita's here. I don't see Nita. Nita, do you have your camera on? Oh, I see you. I know you were here. I didn't see you before, and I see you. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Now, Nita, I feel like I know your name, but you haven't performed on the open mic, but you have checked it out, right? Or am I wrong?
Yes, and I performed in person in 2016, and I've been on your show once and La Bruja several times.
Okay, awesome. I was like, that is a name I should know. All right, Nita, go ahead, get into it.
Okay, so tonight I'm doing This Memory Ain't No Mirage. I wish I could shake the memory now, but it's so clear to me that nothing has been made clear to me. Like, Mama, I don't understand how you allow me to fall in the hands of that man. Like, Mom, why didn't you hear me scream? Did you have your listening on silent low beam? How could you have not known that I begged for you to come and rescue me? I begged for you to magically appear so you could see that your little girl was in distress and pain. Mama, why was all of my crying and my screaming in vain? Mommy, Mama, Mom, Mother, my screams and my cries he was able to smother, but I still screamed with all the power in my lungs. I made sounds from other dialects and tongues. I pushed in opposition, Mama, with all my might, but he was just too strong for me to fight. So, Mama, I closed my eyes. I silenced my cries while the sight of my innocence was tortured and raped. And unlike today, my torturer wasn't taped. Mama, you better pray that I get some therapy, that the phrase I killed her won't be taken by me literally. You see, as time ticks, tocks, and keep on ticking, I still visualize gun in hand clicking, tick tock, click clock, tick tock. I still feel he deserves to die in the electric chair fry. You see, I still feel his dirty, filthy hands on me. And a part of me is still really not free. Moreover, no matter how I try to deny as I sigh, I know the reason why I cry. Forgive what? You just gave me another deep cut. I heard you long ago tell me to forgive, that I may live, that I may grow beyond the past hurt and pain, and to see clearly that forgiveness is for my gain. I hear you. I heard you. And all that you say may be true, but today I'm still not ready to forgive. I still want that bastard I still don't want that bastard to live. So tick tock, click clock, tick tock. I still feel he deserves to die in the electric chair of pride. I hear the clock ticking day by day, and I still want that evil bastard to pay. You see, while he has been living his life out loud, doing things to make himself proud, I lived in the secret closet of shame. So I think killing that MF is fair game. So tick tock, tick tick, tick tock, night by night. I still have nightmares of that time and space and fright. Why does he continue to breathe while I still grieve? And as the clock ticks tocks, I still have no relief. I still see the face of that robber and that thief. Tick tock, click clock, tick tock. I still believe he deserves to die in the electric chair of pride. I wish I could tell you that today I'm okay, and that I splash in the rain and I bask in the sun ray, that my skies are more blue than they are gray, that I have forgiven him and he no longer needs to pay. But I know I still have gun in hand, and if I didn't fear consequences, I would complete my plan. Tick tock, click clock, tick tock. I still believe he deserves to die in the electric chair of pride. Pow, pow! Is he dead now?
Wow.
Wow.
Oh
my God.
Damn.
That's
Unbelievable.
what's up. That's amazing.
Oh.
The greatest writers in the world are those that allow them to be the most vulnerable and are the most given. Nita, that was such a given and vulnerable poem. And I could feel the passion. I know everyone else can. I'm trying to unmute you one more time so that we can let the people know where they can find you online.
At Nita L. Chase, Facebook, and Nita L. Chase, Instagram.
Thank you, Nita. I so appreciate you and you sharing that. And
thank you all so much. It's been amazing to be here with you all.
Thank you, Nita. And Nita, please make sure that you put that info in the chat and read the chat so you can see what the people were saying while you were sharing your poems. I'm repeating it. I hope every poet's doing that because we're posting and talking about your poem while you're performing. So I want you to see those words. Okay, next coming up, we are going with a name I have not seen before, and I'm pretty sure they have never been on the open mic. And that is Zanisha Perkins. Zanisha Perkins. I hope I said that name right because a couple hours ago I got the open mic list and I've been practicing that name. Zanisha Perkins. Zanisha, did I say it right?
Yes, it's just Zanisha. I know people want to add the other I. I don't even know why it's in there.
Oh, so it's just Zanisha?
Yep.
So no I at the end. Shia.
I mean, it is in there, but you don't have to say it. It's like silent or something. Zanisha, fine.
Got you. And where are you located, Zanisha?
I've been some of everywhere, but right now I am in West Virginia.
Oh, okay, cool. You're not too far from New York City and the East Coast. Awesome. All right, cool. So I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna let you share your work. Go ahead.
Okay, so I didn't know Monday nights was a theme, but I guess it kind of goes with it because I feel like social media is a mirage, and this is a poem about social media. It's called They. They made a mockery out of you, ostracized and ridiculed. They beheaded you in front of a social platform, media outlet, abnormal decorum, no teleprompter for form, gutted you for likes and hung you in the virtual world. Screenshots for memories. Sad thing is, you don't even know them. People can be so cruel when they're bored. Thin sheet like loose leaf, your thick skin's been torn. Edited, reposted, there's no time to mourn. Oh, snap, an insta hit, face app, no crap back. Tweet that, paying for the delay, no cash app. Trending and 5 hashtags. I heard you had a sex tape. No friend request, they added that. No report or privacy act, the bylaws aren't against that. Discrimination you can scratch at. Racial slurs in all caps. Profile pics, now you've been hacked. Strangers on your friends list, Friday flashback. Anonymously scrolling past your life decisions on a broadcast. Watch you die 1,000 deaths, the post, that's so sad. Emoji cons here with your lying ass, waiting for the slip up so they can put you on blast. New TikTok challenge now. New TikTok challenge. How she twerk so fast? Bad parenting post the live, but you can't log off. Are you seriously mad? Really? But they're not concerned because you'll be back. Why? Society lives for that. There's the problem. What's the solution? Is it in them or you?
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Zanisha.
Anisha, that was great.
All right.
Great job.
Anisha, Mississippi in the
Welcome.
house.
Come on back.
Zanisha Perkins. Let me unmute her one more time so we can find out where we can follow her online. Zanisha, where can your new fans follow you online?
Nowhere. I'm not on social media right now.
Oh, okay. Another one off the grid. I got it. Well, I appreciate you spending time here with us. Please don't be a stranger. You hear?
Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you. Zanisha Perkins. Right? Everyone's in witness protection, man. But I respect it. All right. Next coming up, we are going to the Bronx with Glissette. I saw Glissette. There she is. Let me unmute Glissette, and shout out to Baby Overdose in the building. How are you, Glissette?
I'm good.
Awesome. You ready to share your work?
Yeah, I
Go
have
ahead.
one small one. Your emotions towards me are so dry, but I'm so hot for you. I create a mirage of love that never existed. It takes me time to realize that the false state of reality I'm living in is an illusion, and I'm just delusioned, thirsty because you won't quench my love. So I fall, and the mirage disappears, and I see clearly the reality. I'm alone in love.
Oh, that ending. Give it up. Unmute yourselves and give it up for Glissette.
Love that.
Hey,
Glissette.
Glissette. Nicely done. Nicely done, Glissette.
Beautiful.
Poetry is supposed to be compact, nice little quick punch. I love it, Glissette. Let me unmute you one more time. And where can the people find you online, Glissette?
Here every Monday.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Glissette will be here. Witness protection as well. Thank you, Glissette. I appreciate you, man. See, we invite everyone here to Monday Night Online Open Mic. Y'all a bunch of criminals, or at least you know criminals. All right, next coming up is The Withdrawn, and I see two of the, oh, okay, we're gonna do this one. He was milking a cow. That's how I knew which one I had.
What's up, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm great. I actually had COVID symptoms, but I'm free, tested negative. So thank God for that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad you all right, man.
Thank
all
you,
right,
man.
so you ready, Shay? Ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
Go ahead. The wild card, The Withdrawn.
So this is a piece it's kind of like old new shit, but it's not like a personal piece, but I wrote it from like the male perspective. But it's called Felicious Affection. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. I forgot what it's like to take care of myself. I forgot the meaning of physical and mental health. I remember believing this to be a component of devotion. I remember signing off on this promotion. Yay. It was all good just a week ago. Then it's like she turned over to the demon soul. Instead of praying for an escape, I pray that God rescue her soul. But there's no liberating an atheist that doesn't want to be saved. There were only memories to be made by making the most of it. She took these feelings out for a ride and chauffeured them. Reupholstered them from happiness to, damn, I can't even describe what the fuck this is, but I mean she loves me. Think back to the times when food and vagina were the only things you would eat. Now she feeds my insecurities. Got to a point where they're forced to down food even when not hungry. We're bloated, choking on her words, feeling at any moment we might vomit. The best compliment from her sounds like a you'd look better with your wrist slit. Think back to the times when a shoe was just something you wore on your foot. A belt was something you just wore around your waist. All of a sudden, they turn into dancers, teaching your jaw how to suitably sway. Glasses smashed into tiny little pieces like you dropped a Dollar Tree plate. My face wears territory marks religiously. So when I visit family, I force myself to put on these COVID masks to mask them. The order of turtlenecks should be in soon. I'm hoping. Because last thing I need is notability lecturing me about the hand markings that look like collars. Feeling like a baby otter who came across someone's six-pack ring from their beers. I talk to myself like, bud, lighten up. Remember that this is a part of love. After all, don't parents model relationships for us? Most people call daddy gay because he wore makeup. No one knew what the real truth was. When I was 8, he once said mommy was a striker because she cared about him so much. I asked, then how come mommy doesn't hit me? He would then change the conversation. I can recall reading concern in his eyes, despite keeping his head up high. And now here I am, with the baby on the way, standing over my dad's grave. I'm sorry, I say, that it took losing you to abuse for me to finally see that this cycle has to break. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give that man
Yeah.
some energy.
Damn. Yes, withdrawn.
Take a sip.
Yes.
What you're gonna get with this dude? Never, man. You think you're gonna go crazy and then you drop something heavy like this? Withdrawn, brother. Where can the people find you online?
Thank you so much. You guys can find me at thewithdrawn.com. On my website, you go to the bottom, you'll see a link to like all my social media. Also, a few months ago, Christina Picozzi and I, we got like poems published in this book called Beautiful Ways to Say. The FU is like a fuck you to violence, and given it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you guys like want the book or anything, like I'll be more than happy to buy that for you and send it over. So thank you guys so much, and all love, always love.
Thank you. That is The Withdrawn, man. Make sure you give him a follow at The Withdrawn and thewithdrawn.com. Cool, man. Why does daddy wear makeup? Like that hit me. When he said that, I was like, oh, I mean, other parts, but that part was flipped it. Okay. Next, now we're going to the last person on the guaranteed list, and we are going out to the Philippines with LK. And where is he? I saw him earlier. Where's LK? Ed up there point. Oh, there he is. There he is. Let me unmute him. All the way out in the Philippines. Haven't heard from him in a while. It's good to see you again. How are you?
Hey, it's great to be back. Actually, I've missed Nuyo, and I love the poetry here. Like, it's just so rich. Thank you so much for having this platform.
Well, thank you for being here, man. I know you get up at 8 in the morning. I am a tormented artist. I don't get up that early. But all right, go ahead. Get into your poetry, man. Get your day started. Go ahead.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So my piece is called "Save the Lost." Bang! Dead, Mr. President, said one pencil body boy of 17, slowly written off in a mirage alley, writing 100-peso breaths with sucked fingers fidgeting, inhales a shot, blood, regrets, inhaled newspaper wrappings on a cold ash curb, overturned 20 seconds. Stop. Help came in chattering clicks, flicks the paused sky, pointed jaw, gaping on the flashes, colorless, unperturbed, stillness, kill another. Conscience is filled with fresh names like that boy, now crossed out, sniffed in to fisted pockets, labeled for the country. Sun, stairs, came flashes, blue and red inks, boss media. Fuck, questions flew in rounds on yellow headline tapes. Stash of shabu is waved in noisy ziplocks, begging a story and a body banging a tally and a folly. 2 more years of this. Apparently, this is what you call democracy. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for LK.
Crazy. So good.
Beautiful. Whoa. Man, you need to be getting up early more often to join us, man. I know I'm being selfish, but when you host open mic, you can be selfish. LKN, where can we find you online, sir?
Okay, so you can find me at Instagram. My handle is at the LKN Poetry. And I hope you guys can join me and other great poets and artists, writers at the Toronto International Toronto International Festival of Authors on October 30th, and I will be featured in a showcase event there at 8:30 8:30 Toronto time. So please check it out. Thank you so much for this platform. Love you, New York.
Thank you, LKN out in the Philippines, and Toronto is Eastern Standard Time. I'm pretty sure. I believe it's pretty sure. So we have some time to go into our waiting list. Thank you to the poets who signed up, the 25 who got through their poems. Because you got through your poems so quickly, we're able to get more people on. I appreciate that. First, coming up, we are going to a gentleman whose name I don't believe has ever been here, and he just turned off his video. What's he hiding there? And that is Daryl Photo. I'm trying to unmute him. Daryl, you there?
Yeah. We in
Now
here. Sorry, technical issues real quick.
Nah,
we back.
It's all good, man. I didn't know if something was going on. You know, you're putting something in the air. Didn't want to show us.
Headphones, man. Headphones. I promise.
All right, cool. All right, with that being said, Daryl, welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna let you get into it. Go ahead.
Awesome. Hey, appreciate the space, y'all. Thank you. This poem is called Her Smiling Ghost. I'm in love with the ghosts that smile at me when your memories call my name. We get coffee every weekend, which isn't that weird unless you know how much I hate coffee and coffee shops, but still, I enjoy the sweet taste of reminisce more than I hate the bitterness of these beans, or better phrased, I've come to know sacrifice, the same way a heart knows to dance to a sad beat when in the presence of someone you love or in the absence of someone you shouldn't. And I know something as fickle as proximity should never define love. But still, when there's no you or me, we fill the spaces in between with frivolous flings and lustful ventures, though occasionally, when lost time occupies our void, we find ourselves sauntering through the corridors of a house we never knew we were building until we stopped picking up the falling bricks. And in a sense, that is how we learned love, how we learned acceptance, how we learned time heals all wounds, translates to longing will always be dictated by the eternity spent apart rather than the blissful moments spent together. And I know something as fickle as time should never define love, but it's been 367 days since the last time your lips touched mine, and I can't lie. That's taking a toll on me. You have left me a feeble man, too wary to be crying over spilt love from people who shapeshift into the kind of demons they promise they can never become, like how your mouth can turn from a sneer of carnivorous fangs into a smile like an island in a sea of tears. And I swear, I have never seen anything more beautiful. Maybe that's why I hold on to these memories, like dusty portraits hanging themselves in a haunted house. We welcomed these ghosts into our bedroom, let them whisper guilty dreams in our ears until we learn to sleep sleeplessly in the spaces reserved for each other's arms, as if to say it's normal to mourn like this in the absence of someone you shouldn't love. And I know I do love you. It's just that my soul also knows we're better apart, and it's not all bad. I mean, this distance has taught me to be creative. Like pulling beautiful poetry from a puddle of tears has taught me to be creative. Like painting nostalgia from my worst memories has taught me that building a house in the stagnation caused some heartbreak is the same lesson in masochism as falling in love with the pain from your abuser. And most days, I can bear this burden. I turn longing into daily lessons of self-worth, as if to say hurting is integral to the healing process, forgetting the problem has never been the pain, but the fact that healing is a process. And I know something as fickle as weakness should never define love, but still, I can't help but wonder, if the sun shines while I hide behind my shutters, how would this feeble man learn to bask in any light that didn't come from your radiance? Will I continue to kill myself in the melodies of your laughter, or let a broken heart beat in the echoes of your silence? Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Daryl Photo.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Much love, much love.
Baby.
Daryl went in, all that energy, a bunch of quotables. Let me unmute him. Yeah, you should be able to unmute yourself one time, Daryl.
Yes, sir.
There we go. There we go. Daryl.
Hey, appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Make sure that you check the chat. People were saying a lot of nice things about you. You got to come
Hey,
back.
I appreciate all the love, y'all. For real, for real, for real.
You got to come back on a Monday night. Where can we find you online?
Honestly, right now I'm posting a lot of my work on TikTok. Your boy been blowing up a little bit. Follow the kid at photoshoot124. I'm gonna type it in there. I'm gonna type it in the link. That's my Instagram as well. Y'all can find me. Show some love. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Now listen, we got a tradition here at the New York, right? So you
What's
shared
up?
your information. I gotta ask you. Yeah, wait, are you from New York City?
No, Washington.
Okay.
Not DC, the state, Washington State.
Oh, okay. You out in the West Coast. Cool. Just had to make sure, man. That's what's up.
Hey,
Well,
what's
yo,
up?
I appreciate you checking us out, and I hope that you come back. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I love the energy. I love this. This is amazing, y'all.
And my son is all on TikTok, so I'll make sure he check you out. And then I'm gonna be all like, oh yeah, that dude comes to my show. You following him? That dude comes to my show, buddy. I'm gonna look so cool in front of my kid. All right.
Hey, we're here for it.
Appreciate you, Daryl. Thank you. Daryl Photo. Make sure you put the information in the chat so the people can follow. And we also have time for another open micer, and we are going back to the Philippines with Indigo Pie, who we haven't heard from in a while. I'm unmute Indigo.
Good morning, New York.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Well, I mean, I burned my hand protecting my cat from a kettle, so that's where we're at this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I am happy we're able to get you on the list to rock out. You ready to share?
Yeah, I'm actually very familiar. All right. Good morning. Again, I'm Indigo Pie. I live in the Philippines, where we are on day 200 and something on lockdown. I mean, guys, you see this? It's called The People at Home. Help your girl survive, yeah? Yeah, okay. So this week's theme, I was thinking about it, and it's kind of tied to what I'm going through now, and the whole reason why every time y'all see me, it's like, oh my God, it's that girl in PayPal. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about that. I thought that when I left, things would automatically get better, and I think that's what other people thought too. I thought that no longer living in a house where I could not eat because food was locked away because I was too fat meant that when I moved into my own house, I would afford all the food I wanted. I could eat anytime. I could get McDonald's, oh my God, did you know that rice is cheaper when you buy it when it's uncooked? I didn't either. I thought that moving into my own space, moving into my own home, paying my own bills would be easy. I'm a writer. I can work. I'm healthy for the most part. Then you realize that the rest of the world has moved on from Corona, and everybody in your government is too busy not giving a fart. You're still stuck at home. And it's harder to work in the rat race when everybody is in the same maze. It's harder to realize the fruition of anything You don't even know when you're going to get the next big thing, you know? And sometimes big isn't even big. Sometimes big is knowing I have more than 3 days worth of cat food to feed my cat. Sometimes big is the idea that maybe this lockdown will finally end so I can see my freaking boyfriend. Maybe, you know, when you're touch-starved and your love language is hugs and you can't even see the people you love, for things beyond your control, all you can do is hang in there and stay whole. Listen, I'm tired and I'm sad, but you know what? It's not so bad. Because freedom where you're struggling is better than abuse where you are thriving. Freedom where you are struggling is better than abuse where you are thriving. Because you can thrive in abuse. And that's what people don't normally get. Some of the happiest people are in the worst situations. This, I'd rather be in this mess. I'd rather be who I am in the shell of the girl I was. And you know what? Maybe someday things will get better. Maybe they won't. But at least they're on my terms. This is my house now. You don't get to tell me anything. You don't. This is my life. These are my rules. And I will love myself the way I have always deserved to be loved.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Indigo Pie.
Amazing.
Indigo claiming independence. I remember that feeling very much so. Let me unmute Indigo one more time so we can find out where online. Get Indigo, where can the people find you online?
Okay. Obviously, y'all can donate to my cause, but also y'all can find me on Instagram, Indigo Pie Poetry. I'm on YouTube, Indigo Pie, Facebook, Indigo Pie. I'm coming out with a book later this year, and if you weren't here earlier, I will remind you that on October 30, for the Toronto International Festival of Authors, you can find LKN, who you should also follow at the LKN Poetry.
Awesome. Thank you, Indigo. Indigo Pie. Make sure you can follow Indigo at Indigo Pie Poetry, P-A-I. That's how you spell pie, P-A-I. Next from the waiting list, we get to go to Tara Lee. Tara Lee keeps getting on the waiting list, but somehow she's making it. She's the good luck charm. How are you, Tara?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We're short on time. So you ready to get into it?
Yes, I got a new one for you all, which is awesome, and it's short. So maybe we can get somebody else. I don't know, but let's get into it. No title yet, but here goes. I'm weight training with my emotions, tugging the ropes as they run out of control, bench pressing them into corners so they can't be seen. I'm lifting them over my head and into every closet I can find, hoping they won't spill out and ruin a good moment. This is the most fatigue I have faced since I started playing basketball, but the burn is so good when I finally see that I am now in control. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Tara Lee.
Great job.
Hey,
Great job.
Tara.
Great job.
Hey.
Nice.
Tara Lee, let me mute everyone and unmute Tara. Tara, where can the people find you online?
You can find me at Instagram at tquest10. My Facebook is right here, so facebook.com/TaraLeeW. And then my website down here, because I'm still getting the money to make it shorter, but I have it out.
Awesome, thank you. That is Tara Lee. Make sure you put your information in the chat as well. Okay, so next I have Metronome, but I don't see her here. Monica, are you here? Going once, twice. No, don't see her. And then I have Christian Elijah. Is Christian here? Christian Elijah. Let's see. Oh, I see him. Unmute Christian.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, hear you perfectly, man. Perfectly. Is this your first time with us on the Monday night?
Yeah. I've been wanting to get on so bad, but like I just been hanging back and listening to everybody, and it's This beautiful here, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. Where are you located?
Jersey.
Oh, okay, awesome. You're not far away. All right,
Nah.
go ahead, man. Get into it, brother.
All right. So I got a poem called I Decided. I'm just waiting for the thing to pull up because it wants to be extra slow. And okay. Sorry, some technical difficulties. Here we go. I've been dragging in the sands for help. Tattered clothing, blood stains and sweat. Wounds are decades years old, yet they still look fresh. I was still wanting to be heard. I was still crying, still in pain, until I decided to be still. From across the way, I saw a little girl. She looked just like me, by way of shabbiness and hurt. Slowly, we both approached each other, and I realized that she wants what I want, is to be heard. Being the elder that I'm supposed to be at this point, I silenced my cries like a slow turning faucet and listened to her. I listened to her cries, her agony, and I decided to hold her as tightly and genuinely as I knew how. As I held her trembling body, the blood from her wounds poured into the riverbeds of the lifelines of my palms. I surrendered to her trauma, to my trauma. I lifted her up by the armpits, looked at her in her eyes and said, I love you. It wasn't your fault. I'm sorry for ignoring you. I'm sorry for falling into the traps that made me forget about you. I'm sorry I pushed you away, but I'm here now. How can I help you? How can I support you? And she replied, tell me what you know. And in that moment, it hit me, the quote, if I knew then what I know now. But this time I took out the if. I sat her on my lap and told her which ancestors to call on. And any and every time he tries to barge into your room, anytime he chases you, anytime any of them say sweet things to get closer, call upon the ancestors then. Call upon the ancestors all the time. We smiled, we cried, and hugged until it was time for me to go. She said thank you and miraged out of my appearance. When I got out of my meditation with wet cheeks and a lighter sternum, I decided that anytime my abusers want to attempt to remind me of their energy, I will remind them of mine. Thank you.
Wow.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Christian Elijah.
Move.
Loved it, man. Let me unmute Christian. Christian, make sure you take a look at the chat because the people are saying nice things about you. They want you to come back. Christian, where can we find you online?
Bless, thank you. I put it in the chat. Is so far you can find me at 11, the Phoenix Project 11.com. I'll put all my other stuff in the chat. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Christian Elijah. His first time here with us, knocked it out the park. All right, I got time for one more. Is Stephen McKnight here? I don't believe I saw Stephen. I checked Stephen McKnight going once, twice. Nope. Paul Conqueso. I believe Paul is still here. Yes, he is. Let me unmute Paul. You should be able to unmute yourself now, Paul. There we go. How are you, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chill. I was really nervous I wasn't gonna get on. Like, I was convinced I wasn't gonna get on. You know, when you psych yourself out and you just write yourself off. But we rallied. We
got it in. So go ahead, man. Do your thing.
All right. So I'm gonna just pop off then. Because I know we're pressed for time. All right. So I got a really short one, which is not like me, but I got a short one and then a medium one. And both kind of fit with the theme. So thanks for the inspiration as always, because whenever you can get us writing new shit as a professor, also I appreciate when I can pull a prompt out of thin air and it inspires me. So this is called The New World. The mirage was neither the land in the far distance after months cooped up in a tiny ship near death from shipwreck and a full-fledged mutiny. No, the only hope they saw was the island coming upon them from the horizon. The lie was that this land was theirs to explore, to lay claim to plant flags in and enslave its inhabitants. The mirage of their superiority was their control over a place with thousands of years of history and nations which came before claiming it as victory. The lie was that this discovery would become. The lie is America. Okay, the second one is just straight up called Mirage. They say treat your body like a temple, yet for so long I treated mine ruinous, like ruins, like a tomb, like wreckage of all good things. This body is no palace, no place of worship for those with body dysmorphia. It's far more false idolatry, falling to knees with every step. Think feet dragged in desert, think oasis, and in back of your mind is fridge stacked with Gatorade, a menage a trois in garage amidst a 3-week-long dry spell, a stone facade, and the complex goes deeper than God, a torrential storm within summer drought condensation forms, placing itself in the eye to terraform, and my lips can't wait to adorn your frame and slip soak with rain this apparition of happiness. Perhaps if I was thinner, perhaps if I were buff again, perhaps if, like a broken needle scratching vinyl record wide as my forced smile, trying to coordinate safe inside with triangulation. Have you tried strangulation as a formal form of punishment? This disorder screaming so garishly, the cemetery can't sleep, death visiting me in threes like Dickens' Christmas stories, ghosts of the infantine man I've been, time and again shaking shackles and chains of false praises past, present, me letting each drop of conceit fill the cup till my goblet runneth over with sweet sticky sap of ego bleeding from me. This leitmotif of abuse and grief replayed again and again like all 10 seasons of Friends in syndication. Only I'm Chandler, sorry. Matthew Perry when he stopped using and blew up. Then comes Future Paul, suits and all, sellout of the bohemian dream, cashing in chips from addicts anonymous, shacking up in a new development just outside the palace doors. Temples bulldozed and in their place monuments raised, well, erected in the image he rejected back when acceptance was just another form of substance abused, is truth. In the age of fake news. So with no one left to tell him who to trust, he falls to his knees. And please, not for the apparitions to take it all back, but for the confidence he lacked back when he had it all, but couldn't see it, because often our fatal flaws are the greatest mirage of all.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Paul.
Yes,
Paul. Damn,
Oh, worth the
Paul.
wait.
Amazing job.
As always.
Thank y'all. You guys can
Headliner con queso. Ending the show. Let me unmute him. Where can we find you, Paul? Where?
Y'all can follow me at Paul Con Queso on IG and Venmo, and you can also see me Wednesday at the Latinx hybrid show between Nuyo and Bloomfield College.
Looking forward to it, man. That was Paul Con Queso. Another fantastic Monday night. Please be sure to be following the Nuyo on Facebook and YouTube, all that good stuff. You can follow me at Advocate of Word. So with that being said, good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting us into your homes. This has been the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I have been your host, Advocate of Words. It's always my pleasure to do this. So if you want to write more, the best tip I could give you is to read. We've just spent about 2.5 hours on the computer. Get off it. Go read a book. So, wait. Before you go, there's some tea that I've got to spill about the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. So last week, right, it had... One second, hold on. Hello? Yeah. But nah, it's cool. I wasn't gonna tell him all of that. No, yeah. Oh, all of you are on. It's the board from the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Yeah? Oh, but it was a good show though, right? All right. Well, I'm not gonna tell them all of it. No, don't cut the stream yet. Wait, no, look, the part that I was gonna tell them about, right?